For this month's Patreon reward for the $5 a month tier, I have a bonus episode of Twin Peaks Conversations. The last regular episode was back in June. In this case, I had the guest Rob King, who wrote the book David Lynch and the American West, a compendium of essays on that theme. And so we had some interesting stuff to discuss. Unfortunately, technical difficulties cut it short. So this ended up being only a half-hour episode. For that reason, I can't put up a public section of this because it would cut into too much of what's left of the reward. So I'm just going to have the Patreon reward up, but I will play a sample, about a minute and a half from the discussion for the public here. So you can get a sense of what we talked about. Hopefully head over and listen to it on patreon.com/lost in the movies. So here is a piece of that conversation.
The way that we kind of define the Southwest, which I think is important, is Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Colorado, all the way up into Montana. As far as the cattle trails ran, we
Mm.
would collect manuscripts from people that were involved in that, literature based on that, the newspapers of those areas. And so at Texas Tech University as a librarian, I was tenure tracked and am tenured. And at the time, you're going up and your nerves are up. You have to go by your college guidelines. And I wanted to really be publishing on topics of the Southwest, the American West, if you will. Um, and Twin Peaks was an interest of mine in popular culture, and so the return kind of gave me a gift in basing it in
Yeah,
Las
totally.
Vegas and giving me Odessa. It was like it landed in my lap. There
And New
was no
Mexico. I mean, the whole Los Alamos. I mean,
Los Alamos and the Trinity test. It was
yeah.
unbelievable. Project Blue Book was already there, with the, UFO sightings, and Lubbock had a UFO sighting, the Lubbock Lights, they call it. And I believe that's the case that closed Project Blue Book. But anyhow, the idea is I wanted to publish with the fandom. I wanted to be in discussion with the fandom at large, and it seemed to make sense to take a regional approach.